Good morning, everybody. I am Mr. Smith, and I want to welcome you to the spring 2016 semester of English 1101 online. So, if you're watching this video, you're obviously in the class because the only way you can access it is to actually be in the class. So, welcome aboard. I don't want to spend too much time on these videos. I'll be posting a video every single week. I want to try to be as brief as possible so you don't have to sit there and listen to me yammer for long periods of time. But these videos are important, and you should watch them every single week. You should actually take the time. Like I said, they'll usually be about 5 or 10 minutes. Today's video is going to be a little bit longer because I'm going to be going through the syllabus. But you should take the time to watch them because there's always going to be important information that I'm going to relay in them so that you can do well in this class. All right, so English 1101, why do we actually make you take that class? What are we trying to learn here? English 1101 is called Composition 1, which means that this is a writing class. This is a class designed to make you into a better college level writer. Now, many of you come into this with different levels of writing ability. Some of you, writing just seems to come natural. It's almost as natural as breathing. Some of you have to really, really struggle just to put together a sentence. And I expect that I'll have students on both ends of the spectrum here. So, with that being the case, what is the purpose of this class? This class is not designed to help you become a better creative writer. We do have creative writing classes for those of you that might want to write poetry or write fiction. This is not a business writing class. I'm not going to teach you how to write a business cover letter or how to write a resume or how to write an email. What we're going to teach you how to write in here is going to be college level compositions, essays, so to speak. And the essays in this class will be short, but they will still help you to develop skills that are going to be necessary to succeed in every class. Because there is something called writing across a curriculum. And what writing across a curriculum means is that every class should make you do some sort of a writing assignment. Some of them may be full-blown essays, like what you're going to be writing in here in English 1102 and literature. Some of them may be postings on the discussion boards, and you'll be doing some of that this semester. And some of them may be, just little in-class essays or something that are done under time conditions. So we're going to teach you how to write in ways that will help you with all of these types of academic writing. Now, what I'd like for you to do before you continue this video is first hit the pause button, but before you do that, listen to the rest of what I have to say. So hit the pause button, go into the folder. If you'll look in the D2L page, on the left-hand side, you're going to see some folders. We call those modules. In there is a syllabus and schedule folder. Go in there, open up the syllabus, and print this syllabus up, or if you don't have paper, if your printer's out of ink, you can just open it and minimize it, because basically all I'm going to be doing in this video is talking anyway. So you could go ahead and pull the syllabus up and follow along as I'm talking. So I'm going to pause for a couple of seconds to give you time to hit the pause button on your player and go pull that syllabus up. And then hit the play button again once you actually have the syllabus either printed or have it open on your screen. Okay, I'm back. Now, if this is your first semester, because this is an English 1101 course, if this is your first semester, and you might not know what a syllabus is. A syllabus is actually a document that every teacher should give you in every class while you're in college. And what this syllabus will tell you is what to expect from the class, what the teacher is going to give you, and what's expected of you as a student. What is academic honesty? What is academic respect? What is the penalties for late work should you turn your work in late, and things of that nature. So this syllabus is pretty thorough and will cover most of your questions. Now, if you have a different question that's not covered in this, feel free to email me. And I will be glad to try and answer those questions. And sometimes I'll have to send out an email to everybody saying, okay, a student brought up a good point. Here's the answer to that question. If you ask me a question and it says that's actually in the syllabus, I'll just simply tell you to go to the syllabus and look it up. So that's one of the things that we do is we have these syllabi so that a lot of your questions will be answered. So let's go through this page by page. Now, I'm not going to go through every word of the syllabus because a lot of this you can read on your own. But a lot of this is important. So the top information is stuff you can read on your own. My office location. We are an asynchronous online. If you don't know what asynchronous online means, it means that you can sign in pretty much whenever you want. We don't actually, in my class, have a time where I'm going to sit in front of a camera and lecture at you or have interactions with students that every student has to sign in. Everything here is kind of a self-study, which is going to require some discipline on your part. If you've never taken a fully online class before, this might be something new for you. This means you're going to have to be motivated to sign in. You're not going to have to show up in a classroom and sit there for an hour. You can sign in whenever you like. In order to do well in an online class, you should sign in a minimum of 2, perhaps 3 times a week. These class assignments are supposed to take about as long as what a classroom session would take. So we have a 3-hour course here, so a good 3 to 4 hours a week on each class that you're in should be sufficient. Some weeks will take less time, and some weeks will take more time, depending on the assignment that is given. All right, so we're asynchronous online. There's my email address. There is my office phone. I answer emails frequently. I check emails frequently. Those are my office hours. So if you call me on the office phone between those hours, which are Monday and Wednesday from 10 to 12 and from 1 to 3, or on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 12 or 1 to 3, then you should reach me. If I don't answer, it probably means that I'm helping another student, and I'll get right back to you as soon as possible. And then Fridays are by appointment only. Usually the campus is deserted on Fridays. There's really no reason for most teachers to keep office hours on Friday. But if the only time you can come see me or the only time you can call me is on a Friday, and you let me know ahead of time, I'll be glad to accommodate you. 3 credit hour course, specific course policies and course data. You can read those on your own. The required texts, I don't actually have them with me, but they're actually in my office on campus. But my blank English book and readings for freshman composition, both these texts are required. You will be using both of these texts throughout the semester. You cannot expect to do well in this class if you don't buy these 2 texts. You just simply can't. So make sure that you get those. The only place you can get either one of those is going to be through the Darton bookstore or through Dorks. You can't go on Amazon and order these. These are exclusive to Darton. In fact, the English staff actually wrote a lot of both of these texts. Now, the readings for freshman composition was written by professional authors, but we, the English staff wrote some of the supporting material, and we, paid the money to get the rights to the stories and such, or the essays, I should say, and such. So those 2 books are required to do well. They are available at the Darton bookstore. They are available at Dorks. If you're out of town, you'll have to order them through the bookstore online or by telephone or however you're going to order these books. You should have them as soon as possible because we're going to really jump into this next week. Attendance. Since this is an asynchronous class, you can sign in whenever you like, but it's going to require some discipline on your part. You must sign in at least twice a week if you expect to pass this class. And some weeks will require more depending upon the intensity of the assignments. If you do not sign in, don't be surprised if you don't do well in this class. So make sure that you check in frequently. And I do. It does record when you sign in, so I'll know that. Withdrawals you can read on your own. No-show period. If you're watching this video, you don't have to worry about the no-show period. Once you sign in the first time, I will mark you as having shown up, and then you will not be reported as a no-show. Makeup work. You should try this. This class will probably require more work from you this semester than just about any other class. And that's just not because I like torturing you. It requires more work because there's a lot of writing in it. And I do mean a lot. We are going to write 4 essays throughout the course of the semester, and then you're going to have a final at the end, which will have an essay as well, but it will be a timed essay. It won't be one where you get a chance to plan. So you'll write a total of 5 essays. And then that's going to require some time. So if you fall behind, if you're an essay behind the rest of the class, it is hard to get caught up. It's very hard. So just know that in addition to how hard it is on you, it's also harder on the teacher to receive late work. So here's my makeup policy. It's on a case-by-case basis. There's some documentation, which I have listed here, such as doctor's notes. If you're in the military and the military says you have to report to duty for a couple of weeks, Obviously, you don't want to get court-martialed, so you're going to show up. Jury summons, an order to appear in court. If you're an intercollegiate athlete, your coach will file an I-4 form. Whatever it is, if there's some kind of documentation that you can show me, I can work with you, and there won't be any kind of a penalty. However, take a look at what I've got here in all bold. In fact, a lot of important things in the syllabus are in all bold. If an assignment is 3 weeks late, it will automatically get an F. So if you turn your personal narrative in 3 weeks after the due date, just expect an F on it and be on your merry way. Unless you and I have worked something out because of this documentation. Then, I'll make exceptions in that case. When you turn in assignments late, when you turn in an assignment after I've already graded it, you are creating more work for me. And that is true of all teachers. Every teacher has certain due dates and expect the students to stick to them so that our workload is less. Once you start turning in late papers, you cannot expect these teachers, whether it's me or whether it's your science teacher, history teacher, or whoever, you can't expect anyone to want to go back and grade something that they should have graded weeks earlier. That's just the way it works in school, and it's going to be the way it works in the business world when you get out there and try to get a job. You can't turn in late work and expect to still have a job once you make a habit of that. So that's my makeup policy. Grades, standard policy. I've got a little criteria here you can read through. Also, actually, I guess I should show it to you. I've got some criteria here you can read through. What makes an ASA, a BSA, and a CSA. Every assignment I give you is going to have a rubric spelled out for you. Like this many points for this say like 10 points for a thesis statement, 10 points for structure, 10 points for development, things like that. So in addition to what's in the syllabus, I will have even more specific instructions for each assignment. These are general guidelines. You're going to have specific or assignment-specific guidelines as well as we get those. And then we got the classification of the major problems. Your first couple of weeks in this class are going to be grammar. We will start the actual writings in about week 4. Technically, because week 1 is this week. So 2 more weeks of grammar, and then you'll have we'll start the first assignment, which will be a personal narrative in week 4. But these are listings of problems that we mark off on quite frequently. So be aware of what they are and how not to make those. Here's the evaluation. 10% of your grade is going to be quizzes and classwork. I will quiz you on every reading. I will have extra work, like, for example, these first couple of weeks, we're going to have some assignments on comma usage and some assignments on agreement and some assignments on other grammatical things. Those will all fall under the quizzes and classwork. And there will be certain assignments throughout this semester that fall under that umbrella. You will have 4 essays: a narrative essay, a compare-contrast essay, an argument, which will also require research. It'll be the only assignment we do this semester that requires research, but there will be a research paper that you'll have to do in MLA format. And then a film essay. And I will explain what that means when the time comes. That film essay is the last essay you're going to write, and you're not going to write that probably until April, I think. There are 2 little quizzes that are what we call QPE, or quality, or QEP, excuse me, quality enhancement. Those are the research and the ILT quizzes. Don't have to worry about those yet, but you will be taking them later this semester. That's worth 5%. And then the final exam with a timed essay component to it, that will be worth 20% of your grade also. So that's the breakdown on your grades. So if you take a 0, say on the research paper, the best you could get is a B-, and that's if you got A's on everything else. That would be highly unlikely. So you want to make sure that you don't fall behind and you don't get any zeros on any of this. So these are very important parts of the evaluation. All right, I'm going to let you read the disruptive student policy and the academic policy on your own. I do want to say a few words about plagiarism. I take plagiarism very, very seriously. Plagiarism, and we'll talk more about this when we get to the MLA part of the assignments, but plagiarism actually starts with the narrative and moves forward. Plagiarism is taking somebody else's work and taking credit for it yourself. In other words, saying that you wrote something that actually somebody else did, and not giving proper credit. We'll go more into detail about that when we get to the MLA, but some plagiarism can be accidental, and some of it's actually on purpose. On purpose plagiarism could be like copying and pasting, or it could be turning in your older brother or sister's work that they turned in 2 or 3 years ago. Or, and this is my personal favorite, is going onto a website where you can take a credit card and buy a paper, stick your name on it, and turn it in. If I catch you plagiarizing, you will get a 0 on that assignment. No questions asked. No excuses, whether it was on purpose or whether it was accidental. There will be a 0 on that assignment. I spell that out clearly in my plagiarism policy down here and onto the next page. Every paper that you write this semester needs to be your paper. You are much better off taking a low grade, like a C- on a paper you wrote, than taking a 0 on a paper that you bought, or a paper that your brother wrote, or a paper that you basically copied and pasted off of Wikipedia. Do not test me on this. I do run all your papers through turnitin.com. I also have other methods if I feel like you're cheating in ways which I can catch you, and I'm very, very good at it. In fact, I'm so good at it, I'm actually the chair of the academic honor code committee. I'm the one that when somebody, a teacher brings a student before the committee and says this student cheated and we need to level penalties, I'm the chairman of that committee. So you don't want to test me on this. Do not plagiarize. You're better off turning in really bad work that is your own than you are turning in really good work that you got from somewhere else and did not properly credit. So be aware that plagiarism is a big deal to me. And if you plagiarize a second time, and I've had students do this, I've caught students plagiarizing, I've given them a 0 on the assignment, they thought, well, he won't catch me twice. Yes, I will. And then you will take an F for the semester, and you will be asked not to return to my class this semester or any semester afterwards. That's how serious plagiarism is to me. And it's actually spelled out right here in the syllabus. So, just don't do it. Do your own work. You'll be more proud of it if you've done it, and you will learn more because you'll become a better writer. The only thing you learn how to do when you cheat is you learn how to cheat. When you actually write an essay, even if you get a bad grade, what you've learned is how to write and perhaps what to do and what not to do. So, do not cheat, and I think I have discussed that long enough. And finally, extra credit opportunities. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about this one for a minute. The time to worry about your grade, the time to actually try and get a good grade in this class starts today. It starts in week 1. Do not think that you can slack off in this class for 16 weeks. Come up to me at the end of the semester and say, Mr. Smith, I know I didn't do my work. I have no excuse. Can you give me some extra credit to help me pass? I will then pull out the syllabus and point this out to you. What it says, I'm going to go ahead and read it. There will be no desperation extra credit opportunities given to students who are failing the class at the end of the semester. Folks, if you do your assignments throughout the semester and you stay caught up, you should pass this class. It's hard work and it's very time-consuming work. Like I said, you'll probably spend more time on this class than any other because of the fact that there's so much writing in it. But the only way you're going to become a better writer is to actually write. But if you do all that work, you shouldn't need extra credit at the end. You should be able to pass. Even if it's with a C, you should be able to pass. A lot of my students get A's. If you put forth excellent work, you will get an A in this class. And I like giving out A's. I actually love to give out A's. A's are less work for me, and A's actually make me feel good. And they make the student feel good. But you got to earn that A. I'm not going to give it to you just because you happen to be a very nice person. And I'm sure all of you are. I'm sure you're all good looking, you're all nice, you're all hard workers, you're all everything, all that in a bag of chips or whatever. However, you get graded based on the quality of the work that you turn in. So if you turn in A work, you get an A. If you turn in F work, you get an F. And it's that simple. So, if you try to come up to me at the end of the semester and say, Mr. Smith, I didn't do anything all semester. Can I do any extra credit to make it up so I can pass your class? The answer will be no. You must actually take the class again. So don't put yourself in that position. Stay caught up, sign in, do the work, turn the work in on time. If I give you some criticism that will help you become a better writer, take that criticism to heart, apply it to your writing. You should be just fine and not even need the extra credit. All right. So that's it. And the rest of this is going to be the schedule. This schedule is subject to change. For the most part, we should stick to this schedule. There should be no problems with it. We should be just fine. However, it's possible that something will happen at some point in the semester. We don't know what's going to happen in February. We don't know what's going to happen in March. We don't know what's going to happen in April. Something could happen to change the schedule. I will usually give you plenty of notice. I will send it out in an email as well as announce it in these videos so that you actually know what the changes are and you can adjust for that. But go through that. Now, really about the only thing you got left to do this week is to work your way through the website. Just kind of glance around, see what's out there. Go through all the modules. I have tried to put enough tools on this website, this D2L site, to help you to become a better writer. You also can, like I said, if you happen to live in Albany or you happen to be taking classes at Darden, you can drop by my office during my office hours and get some extra help. You can call me on the phone if you need to. So let's say you live out of town. Let's say you live in Charlotte or something like that. You can give me a call during my office hours or send me emails. If the email is going to take a long time for me to answer, I'll probably respond with something like call me, because I'd much rather call you and have a 10-minute phone conversation than have to spend an hour writing a great big long email that creates more questions than answers, and we don't get any back and forth that way. So I prefer office visits and phone calls, but I will answer emails. The other thing to do, and it's also in the announcements, I want you to send me a brief email through the D2L email, which gives me your name, whether this is your first semester or not, what your major is, and what you're hoping to get out of this class. So answer those questions for me, and it will be a part of the homework grade. So go through the website, take a look around, see what's in there, then go into the email, answer the 4 questions. They'll be posted on in fact, they'll probably be posted right below this video, actually, I think it is. I'm going to post the video first and then the questions below it. So answer those questions and you'll get a perfect score on it. It doesn't matter if you give me, whatever you tell me. So that's it. This will probably be the longest video you have to sit through this semester, except for the one on the research paper. That one's going to take a little bit longer because that research paper is such an involved assignment. But the rest of the semester, these videos should be much shorter than this one was. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to having you as students. I look forward to helping you to improve as writers as the semester goes on. And on that note, again, contact me if you have any questions. And I look forward to a very fun and productive semester.